The 10-minute drill.
This is a big one.
Covered by Universal Roof and Contracting. The difference is Universal.
On 1010XL.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Hit it.
Hit it. All right, let's do some sports concepts and rationalizations. We call it the 10-minute drill, and the party goes on. Beef, do we have a prize pack this week?
Oh, we do,
For
buddy.
the Googans?
We do.
What are we handing
one
out
lucky
today?
Guggen at the end of the 10-minute drill. Stay tuned. We'll get their chance to win a lunch for two from Sonny's Barbecue.
Chris Conley is a really sharp kid. You know, we were lucky enough to have him on our Monday night show throughout this last season, and he's just a thoughtful and intelligent young man. And he went to the Gram yesterday and posted about the CBA, and he was none too happy. And what he was especially none too happy about, and is spot on in my opinion.
Yeah, I know where you're
was
going.
the 500 guys.
That's pitiful.
It's disgraceful. Did not vote. Now look, it passed by 60 votes. It was like 1,019 to 979.
Now, statistics would say because that many voted, and that was the.
I could say that, but 500 could swing it, in my opinion. Nonetheless, it did pass.
I get you, but.
Yeah, and Conley went on about some of the other things. I understand. Again, I've talked about what I thought the owners did, which was brilliant, which was sort of positioning this CBA towards the, for lack of a better term, rank and file, the minimum guys who are going to get a nice fat raise, but that starts in 2021 with the 17th game. But in 2020, we go right to the extra playoff games, which is a boatload of cash for the owners, which I don't necessarily think that they're sharing with the players' union. But nonetheless, it's millionaires and billionaires. It's nothing you want to hear. What you want to hear is that the NFL will go on with labor peace. So in that respect, I think most fans could give a damn, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
So anyway, but what it is through. It is passed. There will be 2 extra playoff teams this year. The top seed will get a bye week. And then that wild card weekend, we'll have 6 games.
As a fan, I don't care who won or lost, Dan. I just want them to play.
Right.
I don't think any side is suffering from the CBA being voted in.
Yeah.
I mean, they're both in a lot better shape than we are as fans.
Well,
so.
Chris intimated that there are some who have some pre-existing conditions health-wise who may be hurt by it. And if that's the case, shame on the NFL. Because if there'll be a story on whoever that one person is, and that's not a good look. But nonetheless, especially when you have all that kind of money. And
I think that there's at some point, Hick, I don't know this, but I mean, maybe the NFL's, how about some of these players that are pocketing $8 to $10 million a year might put a little bit away for their future health themselves?
Well, yeah.
Right? I mean,
sure,
you make that kind of money.
That's now. That's not then. And the ones we're talking about are from then.
Yeah.
Then they didn't get that kind of money. So.
Right.
Anyway, it'll be interesting. But there are about 11,000 former players who will have their pensions increased, which is nice. About 53% from $30,000 annually to $46,000. 700 or so players who played just 3 seasons will get pensions for the first time, and about 4,500 will get $50,000 health savings reimbursement accounts. So those are the kinds of things which, again, lack of better term, rank and file we're going to vote for because they're benefiting from it. So I get it to a point. But I'm
just glad there'll be no work stoppage.
Right.
I was a little shocked. I was watching the Sports Center this morning, and they had Adam Schefter on. And Schefter is usually a middle-of-the-road, nonplussed, never excited.
Schefter.
And the way that he just went crazy that the NFL is somehow putting the whole world in danger because they're starting their year on time was gross. Don't you like the sport, Adam? What are you doing?
Well, what the thought process is that it's a little bit tone deaf right now to the situation the country's in, and all we're going to hear about for the next 3 days are these multi-million-dollar contracts that these players are going to be signing. But from the way I understand it, the players wanted to push it through because they want to get their money.
Of course, and they should push it through. There's no danger. It doesn't fall into any of these guidelines of what you should stop doing.
You can't sign some there's some interesting stuff going on. You cannot sign a guy to a like say Ryan Tannehill had signed somewhere else, okay, for $119 million and $62 million guaranteed. You're not signing him unless you do a physical. Well, right now you can't do a physical, so how does that work? And then there was somebody was talking about virtual physicals.
Why can't you do a physical?
They're not. Well,
Don't
because
think
the state. I think the offices are shut down right now.
all NFL offices
Yeah.
are.
So, I think that's
Well,
the
that's going to be a
situation.
hardship on the NFL. Of course, here in Jacksonville, I'm not sure we've been doing those things already.
Maybe not.
Yeah, I don't know if we've interviewed them. I think we just go down a list.
Again, this could be a benefit for
Send
the
us some
Jaguars
cash.
organization.
Nothing can't hurt. Well, it's
less
going to be
information.
worse, right?
Less
I
information.
have. I'm not on social
We're
media.
going to try something this year, gang. I know it's a little crazy, but you know that little game that a lot of you guys like to play where you just kind of let the names fly and what's that site we go to, Beef, where we do the draft?
Oh, the Draft Network.
The Draft Network, and we sort of
Mock it up.
We're going to do that this year and see
Mock it
how
up,
it works.
mock it
So
up.
I'll be showing up that day, and we'll just push the buttons
Just wing
and
it.
decide on a guy.
See what
We'll
happens.
wing it.
I'm not on social media, but whoever at DF Toffee is Noel fan, I appreciate you. And I like how Noel fan said, hold on a second, you mini little senator.
What is it? A cotton-headed ninny buggets.
Yeah.
That's what he was.
We're not
Yes.
playing. Hey, Gary, sign out. We're not playing your game.
Gary who?
Are the I'm sorry. That is to link this. The
Oh.
senator, and then also a special shout out to the Florida Senate who voted like 51-2 to pass FSU's the national basketball champions. But I like the FSU fan base quickly said, I speak for everyone. We don't accept or expect this. Just thank you for not going UCF and just claiming it.
There's
That's weak.
there's always a little bit of a problem when politicians
Shut up.
try to jump into the sports world where they're not exactly as educated as they maybe are on other issues, and maybe they shouldn't jump into the sports world. So, I read numerous FSU fans, including my son, who just
This is the kind of
said,
reaction.
Get that crap out of here.
No,
We're not- yeah.
no thanks. I'd rather say we missed the opportunity to earn this title because
Right.
of an international
Yeah, that
pandemic.
was silly.
Let's not be UCF about this. So
Yeah.
credit to FSU, who's been a big boy in sports for a long time, and just another indication of that sissy route that UCF went, and how real fans of real athletic programs don't play that nonsense. They don't name themselves national champions when there is a process in place to prove it.
Well, I mentioned Ryan Tannehill, and he did get that deal, but he got it with Tennessee, $119 million, $62 million guaranteed. It's a pretty good deal. And by the way, the Jags have done a lot of stupid things. The Foles contract numbers now pale in comparison to what Ryan Tannehill got, which is, what they gave Foles was not out of line. But they're competing against themselves. Yeah, they threw a couple extra million towards him to make him feel good, to make him feel like he was a franchise guy. Whatever, who cares? Here's the situation. Tannehill will stay in Tennessee, and the hope there is that he can continue to play at the level he played at last year, and not the level we saw in the postseason. It's not fair to say or compare him to Bortles in one respect. He's always had better numbers than Blake Bortles, right? We looked up
Always.
his numbers
That's
in Miami.
correct.
He was pretty good in Miami.
With-
But it is fair to say you're paying him like a franchise quarterback. Can he be a franchise quarterback?
find
And that's
out.
just how you define the word franchise. But that's what he's become now. Ryan Tannehill, and it's a great story for him, right? I mean, for Ryan Tannehill.
Oh, yeah. What a story of
A
redemption.
fall from grace.
Yeah.
Think about the Jags going down to Miami last year. I remember I went to that game.
18.
18, yeah, I'm sorry. And Campbell dominating, and Ryan Tannehill was awful.
They started Kessler and Bortles came in, remember?
Yeah.
That's how.
Our defense scored us points.
Correct.
That's how we won.
Yeah. Who scored that game? Telvin.
Telvin.
maybe. Yeah.
Campbell, though, had like 3 tackles for losses and sacks and pulled the ball out of a running back and just all over the place. But anyway, so Tennessee is now saying, okay, you're our franchise. You're not just our quarterback. You're our franchise quarterback.
One thing that's going to make it easier, he's got a great running game in Derrick Henry. And I mean, I don't know about you. I really love that A.J. Brown and the way he developed.
Yes.
He looks like he could be one of those 100-catch, superstar
I think it's
kind
a smart
of
thing to
receivers.
do if you're Tennessee.
I mean, he got
go
it
for
right. He gave
Let's see
you
what happens.
consistency,
Yeah.
and it's funny. And I think it says something about Tom Brady, and Tom deserves maybe a shorter topic exclusively devoted to him later because
Sure.
Is this an embarrassing weekend for Tom Brady? As the teams now line up and say, yeah, no thanks, we'll take a pass. The Tennessee Titans, and think about this, Hick. Tennessee and San Francisco, two of the teams they've been linked to, and apparently there is some narrative that Brady really wanted to go to San Francisco. Think about those two teams passing on Brady. Now think about what their quarterbacks did in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Each of those teams had quarterbacks that threw for like 80 yards in their playoff games, and yet they did not want Tom Brady. Does that surprise you?
Tennessee maybe a little. San Fran not really. San Fran, I think,
even though you argued you would have done it the other day, that was more of a sports talk argument.
Yeah, I think San Fran was that would have been a major.
You can't come back from that. If you're saying bye to Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah,
you can't bring in Brady for a year or two, right?
They would have had to trade him, and I don't know that would have been the prudent thing to do. So, it looks like Tom Brady. The talk is Tampa Bay or New England.
That's all that's left.
The Bucs are all in.
I don't know why Indianapolis isn't talked about or considered.
Right.
But you don't hear them at all.
Right.
But yeah, look, I think what's also. I mean, we're learning who the smartest guy in the world is again. The smartest guy in the room is that Bill Belichick.
He didn't panic.
I'm taking my time. I know what my guy's value is.
Yeah.
Knock yourself out. Go get you 3 years, $100 million from one of these teams.
Yeah.
If you do, God bless you.
Yeah.
I'll play Stidham for a year, or Mariota, or Bridgewater.
I'll get Andy Dalton.
Whoever, right? I'll take care of it. So I think one of the alarming things at this point is that the Patriots haven't made an offer. Oh, the offer they made was a 1-year one, according to reports.
I think, what did we see? $22 million for a year versus what they're offering in Tampa. And Brady was slow playing it. Obviously, he wanted to go through the free agency process. Listen,
I think Tampa makes the most sense. I'd be afraid as an NFC South team if he went there. They've got talent and a great coach, and you're getting rid of the one wild card who loses you games every other Sunday.
Let's say this:
and Jameis.
If Jameis had that year last year without the 30 interceptions and threw like 12,
they would have been a playoff team.
They would have been a playoff team.
Yeah, and with Brady, they might be a contender.
Correct. I would think so. Yeah. I would think they would compete for a playoff spot. Now, again,
I think it's a possibility.
One thing about Tom that he's always done is he hasn't taken the money, and the Bucs are ready to ante up. But do you just say, hey, you know what? Just give me $25 million and spend $5 million on a put that towards a.
There has been some
bringing me Austin Hooper.
Yeah, back to.
It always comes back to Austin Hooper for me, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
So,
back to Tannehill, and there's some of this on the. It is not fair to Ryan Tannehill say that the Titans are doing what the Jags did with Bortles. Tannehill is better than Bortles, 1,000%.
That's what we said.
I know, but
I
keep getting that filtering through that message from others.
I think it's like I said. I think
because he's not. Yeah, Pat Mahomes or just one of those
I think
guys.
the better differentiation, though, and I think it's fair to say, Tennessee is paying him to be the franchise quarterback. Will he be a franchise quarterback or will he be just a guy?
Last year, he played like a franchise.
Right. In fairness, in Miami, as good as he was good at times, but he didn't lift them. So he was just a guy.
Well, we're going to find out.
Like if I said to you,
we're going to find out. He may have. I mean, they did go to the playoffs one year, Adam Gase's first year, and look, Miami has been a terrible franchise now for a lot of years. Maybe he lifted them from like a 2-win team to a 6.
Yeah,
I don't know, but he clearly played better with. He's got weapons in Tennessee, and if they keep Derrick Henry, Tennessee to me is the favorite to win the division. I mean, they went to the AFC Championship game. They've got. I'd really love A.J. Brown. Jonnu Smith is developing at.
I would say so.
At tight end. I mean, I don't know what the defense is.
That's awful.
I know. We just sit here and let them. I'm just so intrigued. I want to talk a topic about it. This isn't a 10-minute drum, but I'm just so intrigued by what's going on with this Jaguars offseason. It just doesn't make a lick of sense. The decisions that are made and the strategy that's being employed.
This may be a stupid. You can't do this, but I thought of a trade proposal for the Jags last night.
Okay.
Why?
Well, I don't like when you think of stupid things, though. That's the only complaint.
It may be, because I don't know if it's let me explain. The free agency begins, legal tampering starts, right?
Today at noon.
Is there any way the Jaguars, and I'll just throw this out there, do you think you think the Jags are going to sit on Jan? Are they going to trade him?
Oh, I think that part of this Calais move is definitely they're going to pay Jan what he wants.
You do?
Absolutely do.
Oh, okay. Well, then that defeats the purpose, because what I was going to do.
But if you're going to get me something good for Jan, we're going to be terrible anyway. I'm not opposed.
I was going to try to get you.
I mean, the problem is no matter what ingredients you bring me, I got to have a good cook. I got to have a guy who's going to make me a good meal.
I was going to try. Well, I was wondering if there's any way you could do some sort of the sign and trade with San Francisco and get that Eric Armstead guy for a little bit less than what you're willing to pay Jan. Eric Armstead had 10 sacks this year. He hasn't had the career Jan's had, but he's 26. He's 6'7", 292, so he's a bigger dude.
The Oregon kid, wasn't he?
Yeah, I think so. And I think that so Jan would then go to San Francisco. They can pay him what?
More.
Yeah.
Yeah, San Francisco's they've got Bosa, and they've got the guy that they D Ford, and Armstead. Oh, there's abundance of riches there.
Yeah. So
of course, we had Josh Allen, Unique Ngakoue, and Calais Campbell, just as good.
We did. Not anymore. Oh, you think they're going to sign Jan now?
Well, I kind of do. I mean, when you dump all this salary, it can't. What are you going to try and just get a surplus? I would have to think that now the Jags have really quickly gone from a team over the cap to one with among the most money. I mean, they're dumping salary left and right. They got $50-60 million. So who knows?
Yeah.
It's the strangest thing to me about the whole thing is we got two guys that have to be in an absolute win now to keep their job, you would think. And we are making decisions like new guys coming in who have a 3-year plan.
If I asked you guys, are we more likely to be picking in the bottom 5 or the top 5 next year, what would the
Top
vote
5,
be?
yeah.
Yeah, right? We'd be picking 0 through 5 next
You can have 30 draft picks. It's hard to get.
Yeah.
It's hard to get rookies to play like veterans if you had 30 picks.
You know, the talk when Calais was dealt. Again, it may have been the prudent thing to do. We talked about it. If you were going to, if you had to make a choice between Jan and Calais,
it was almost a dirty topic. Yeah. It was almost like a dirty.
You don't like to talk.
You didn't even want to bring it up.
Yeah.
But I kind of thought that they would, not be opposed to that. And it makes sense. Why pay a 34-year-old defensive end?
But after you trade him, the general thought is, all right, let's go get Trevor Lawrence.
Right.
Let's just do it.
Yeah. But then that,
I'm tired of not getting anything out of these crappy years.
And you know
Let's really get crappy. Let's draft Trevor Lawrence. He'll then say he's not going to play for Jacksonville, and we'll all
I don't think that'll happen. But that is such a and again, you just encapsulated the thing as that's so Jag, okay? That's so Jag. Let's tank for a guy to come in to replace the one spot of optimism this franchise has. The one guy that this franchise's fan base is excited about. Yeah. Let's tank to replace him.
Well, let me tell you something. I think that the fan base would overwhelmingly be okay with that. Because listen, if they go 2-14 next year, they're not getting great quarterback play
Here's the
either.
problem. I mean, last year you would have tanked for Tua, and he's not even the top pick.
No, there's always a problem there. You can't tank. I mean, it's impossible.
I would rather
the Dolphins were going to tank for Tua, and they stumbled around and won 5 games.
I would just tell Jaguar fan, you would rather your young quarterback show great signs of improvement in year 2 than hope that he doesn't, and hope that you get Trevor Lawrence, and hope that he's awesome. Sure. I mean, that's 3 steps.
You can't tank with a target.
Right.
Your target's the pick.
Correct. You cannot tank with a target.
Get high.
Best said. All right, let's do this. Let's go caller number 2. Beef, tell them what they're going to get.
Caller number 2 right now at 641-1010. Going to take home lunch for 2 at Sonny's Barbecue.
There you go. Social distancing. Practice it. We'll be back with more next.